Big L's brother, had allegedly been involved in an altercation with Gerald Woodley, one of Big L's childhood friends. According to sources familiar with the incident, because Lee had been in prison at the time, Woodley had decided to target his younger brother, Big L, instead.
I was waiting for L. I'm beeping him. We got beepers packed in.
Yeah.
I'm calling him. I'm leaving voicemails. He's not getting back to me. And reason being was I had another idea to do a record with him.
The streets don't love you back. The streets don't love you back.
You can't fuck with the crates cause we just too hot. All that mess you pop, I suggest you stop. Better quit while you ahead cause you ain't built like that. Better chill cause on the real cast you killed like
Your friends and family will be envious. I really will sit there and try to do you in.
One evening in 1999, Lamont Coleman, better known by his stage name, Big L, was standing outside of his home in Harlem, unaware of the danger that he was in. For moments later, he would be brutally gunned down and assassinated on the spot by his childhood friend. It was a cold evening in Harlem on February 15th, 1999, and Big L was standing on the street outside of his home on 45th West 139th Street in his native Harlem. That night, he was supposed to meet with DITC rapper Omar Jarrell Criddle, better known by his stage name, OC.
And the reason I say that is, for people who didn't hear the song, I was waiting for L and D&D that night. And I think B.I.'s show was going out of town or something like that. And if I'm not mistaken, he was on the GW bridge. And I was waiting for L. I'm beeping him. We got beepers packed in.
Yeah.
I'm calling him. I'm leaving voicemails. He's not getting back to me. And
at that time, Big L was about to enter the peak of his career. He had just founded his own record label, thanks to which he had caught the attention of Jay-Z and Damon Dash, who wanted to sign him and his crew to their independent record label, Rockefeller. Had the deal gone through, it would have skyrocketed L's career to new heights.
Didn't you go to sign Big L?
We discussed him being on Rockefeller, and I was in position. So I was like, yeah, come on. But then, like the next week, we were going to throw a party or something to announce it, and he got killed. Wow. Over the politics on that block. It's like a cycle there that I wish would stop, but I can't really speak on it because it's none of my business.
Wow.
But sadly, his career was viciously cut short. On that fateful evening in February 1999, at around 8:30 p.m., as L stood outside his home, a car suddenly pulled up to him and a man opened fire on the legendary rapper. The vicious drive-by ended in disaster, and Big L was shot 9 times in the face and chest, ending his life instantly.
Full of beats. That's why he did the drive with me, because I had the system was crazy.
Back then it was just y'all two.
Yeah, just us.
Yo,
just us. And
damn
it, Peter had that shit.
That footage.
That's crazy.
As police were called to the scene, OC continued trying to get a hold of Big L, unaware of the tragic fate that had just befallen him. OC was excited about a new collaboration idea he wanted to share with L. But when his phone went straight to voicemail multiple times, OC hung up and drove home. As soon as he arrived at his house, he saw his wife crying, and it was she who told him about the tragic incident that had taken the life of his best friend. OC was devastated, as was the rest of the hip-hop community in Harlem.
Yeah. Like right now, it's like I felt the game is like adapting to me, cause I was stuck for a minute in that little jiggy, too jiggy, you know what I'm saying, time, that little jiggy period where, you had to come with, singing in your joints and all that.
Yeah.
So I kind of, I was stuck. I didn't know how to come because that ain't me. But DMX came in the game, you know what I'm saying, Cam, Nori, they changed the game. They just, they set it up for me. I was just wondering if they set it right up for me, believe that.
Boy, would I get home and my lady was like, yo, I came in the house and she was teary-eyed. She wasn't boo-hooing. When I got closer to her, that wasn't that vibe. And automatically I was like, who's that? And she was like, L. So the first thing that came to mind was finesse. Both L's.
Yeah.
I was like, Ness? And she was like, nah. L. Big L, show just called.
It was a well-known fact that Big L was about to hit massive mainstream success. His first album, Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous, which was released in 1995 by his record label Columbia Records, has solidified him as one of the most lyrically talented rappers in the country. Nicknamed Harlem's finest by other members of the rap scene,
The bump got back in the days. That shoulder shit would and spin back and look at each other.
Deep in the bump too.
That's I went to Skate Key when I was young. My man, he starts everywhere we go. We young in Skate Key, bro. You see Big L coming walking. My man bumps Big L. Boom. I'm like, bro, this the legendary starter. Like he started with a
right.
Big L turned around like, you know, back in the days, bumping.
Yeah.
So my man just looked him up and down. He looked my man up and down. Y'all niggas ain't getting no money and spent off. I was like, oh, that was some real Harlem shit right there.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, that's the test you out shit right there. But Harlem, so when they get money shit, they like, nah, we ain't even.
You ain't even worth
Spent
it.
them.
Got more cash than Gotti, you don't know? You better ask somebody.
Big L was known across the nation for his phenomenal freestyling ability and his dark lyrics, which helped bring more attention to horrorcore rap, a previously underrepresented genre in the hip-hop industry. Big L was a valuable member of the hip-hop community in Harlem, but the fact that his career was about to take off when he was assassinated made the incident more difficult to process for his friends, family, fans, and fellow rappers. Following the tragic incident, dozens of rappers gathered together in Harlem for his funeral to pay their respects to the legendary Big L. Rappers like Fat Joe, Cameron, and Jay-Z expressed their condolences, mentioning that they had rarely met a rapper who could rhyme and freestyle with the natural ability of Big L. In fact, it was well known in the hip-hop community that one of L's claim to fame was that he had been able to match Jay-Z's lyrical ability in 2 different freestyle battles, which put a huge amount of respect on L's name. On one particular day in February 1995, Jay-Z and Big L had an epic freestyle battle on the Stretch and Bobbito radio show, during which the two allegedly went back and forth for an hour straight, displaying their lyrical ability and impressing everyone in the room with their epic flow. In the end, most people concluded that the battle had ended in a draw, although Big L disagreed and later claimed that he won. One thing was for sure, Big L had demonstrated that he had the talent to build an incredibly successful career in hip-hop. From that point on, Big L became known in Harlem as one of the only rappers who could match Jay-Z. Soon after his passing, a memorial was made for him on 139th Street and Lenox, very close to where he was assassinated. Shortly after that, he was buried at George Washington Memorial Park in New Jersey.
Just doing this thing. Now, when did you start rhyming, man?
Yeah, I started rhyming in 1990. What up?
Really?
Yeah.
But how about like when you was a shorty in the 3rd grade, 4th grade?
I was rhyming, but I wasn't saying my own rhymes. You know what I'm saying? I was citing records. You know what I'm saying?
Like who's some of the people you idolize?
Definitely Kane. You know what I'm saying? Big Daddy Kane. You know what I'm saying? That's my man for a long time. Yeah. Turning house parties to concerts and all that. Then one day I met Finesse in a record store. I told him nice, put me on, told me to drop for him. I dropped, he liked it. We exchanged numbers. He started letting me open his shows. Then he put me on his remix single and all that. Then we shot some demos, and then boom, I got signed.
Who's some of the guests, the artists on your album?
Oh yeah, I got my man Lord Finesse, he represented. My man Jay-Z, he represented. I got the 8 is Enough crew, you know what I'm saying? That's my crew, Children of the Corn, you know what I'm saying? Mike Boogie, my man Herb McGruff, he signed, he'll be out soon. My man Buddha Bless, Trooper J, Killer Cam, everybody.
Thursday, after the passing of Big L shook up Harlem and the rap scene at large, the NYPD launched an investigation to find L's assailant and bring him to justice. At the start of the investigation, an NYPD spokesperson said that the shooting could have been a retaliation hit. One of the theories that the police were investigating was that Big Lee, Big L's brother, had allegedly been involved in an altercation with Gerald Woodley, one of Big L's childhood friends. According to sources familiar with the incident, because Lee had been in prison at the time, Woodley had decided to target his younger brother, Big L, instead. Woodley and L had been close since they were young and lived only a few blocks away from each other in Harlem. It was hard to believe that someone who had been on Big L's debut album cover would assassinate him in cold blood and in such a gruesome manner. But Woodley had a history of vicious crime and an apparent motive for the shooting. During the 90s, Woodley was accused of 3 separate hits, including the assassination of Big L, for which he was arrested about 3 months after the incident. Around the time of his arrest, police also received information regarding a slightly different motive for the shooting. Allegedly, Big L had put a price on Woodley's head and ordered members of a gang he was affiliated with to rob him and end his life. Although the hit was not carried out successfully, Woodley still found out about the plan and decided to take revenge. Even though police were fully convinced that Woodley was responsible for the hit on Big L, this was never officially confirmed, and the NYPD eventually released him due to a lack of evidence. As fate would have it, Woodley himself would be slayed 17 years later in 2016. In a shocking turn of events, he was shot in the back of the head as he was standing outside of his own home in Harlem, less than 250 yards away from the location where he had allegedly taken Big L's life in 1999. Details of the crime were not made public, but several sources claim that Gerald Woodley had amassed many enemies during his life due to his recklessness, vicious lifestyle, and that the hit was bound to take place at some point. Cameron, another rapper from Harlem, attended Woodley's 2016 funeral. At the time of the hit, he tweeted, "All born on 139th, all passed away on 139th. Shaking my head, damn, R.I.P." The poignant tweet was of course posted in reference to the hit of Big L. In a video uploaded by Cameron to his Instagram, he sang the lyrics, "Grew up with Big L," and the dude who supposedly slayed him. A week before that, though, Big L had tried to slay him. What was he to do? Please don't get in your feelings. When the time is right, I will tell you about these villains. Now everybody's gone, so it ain't about squealing.
I rock the blue face Prezi, pockets heavy with Chetty. I met these 2 lesbians in a Chevy, Betty and Desi. They like to menage a trois and blase blah with El Coleon, cause I'm a suave star.
Accusations, speculations. If L really did try to put a hit on the partner, what was the partner supposed to do? I can see that part of the game. The other speculation, if it was Big Bro that had something to do with the problem, and you have a problem with the Big Bro, leave the little bro out of it. That's all I got to say.